Doug Harris, along with a few other people in the group, have taken the helm, and so we asked Doug here today to talk about what it's like to go to the Ann Arbor Adult Support Group and get what that's like, what psychoeducation like, what support groups like versus therapy, and just to talk to you about his group and about that experience that people get there. Doug was a coach himself now.
Hi, I'm Doug Harris. I am a coach.
Oh, and he works with the gifted people with ADHD, right?
I won't say that then.
I'm reading your bio.
So I'm one of the lead organizers of the Ann Arbor area ADHD/ADD support group. That's a lot of A's, I know. If you're interested in this at all, you can find us on meetup.com. It's easy to find us. So our support group has two different types of live events. The first one are the psychoeducational programs where we bring in some expert speaker to talk about something that they are an expert on. And we're really fortunate in Southeast Michigan that there are just so many experts. And I have colleagues in other part of the country that just complain to me that it's not fair. Basically half the people in ADD, I think, are in this area. So we get some great speakers. And so naturally with great speakers, there's great content. But what's really special, I think, for me is that we hold a lot of time for questions and answers. So you can hear some of this information maybe on a podcast or a webinar or read it online, but here you get to actually ask your own questions, and that's really cool. And the other type of event we hold, the kind I'm most psyched about, are peer support group meetings. These are opportunities for people with ADHD to get together with their tribe and to share their challenges, but also their successes. We're a resourceful group of people. We've figured a lot out over the years, so we like to share it with each other, and it's amazingly helpful. There's no formal program. We don't do formal very well. I'm an ADHD coach, but I'm not a leader. I'm just another guy with ADHD when we do this. We're just a group of equals. And the topics we bring are just whatever comes up that day. It's a real potluck of just who's there.
Sometimes literally a potluck.
Yeah, literally sometimes. There are two venues for these peer support groups. One is on the third Saturday of each month at the First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ann Arbor. We call these our coffee chats. And I say coffee because we don't provide coffee. If you don't bring your coffee, it's just a chat for you. So just be forewarned, this is not false advertising of any type. The other venue are, again, the Washington Intermediate School District building where we have the other talks, the speakers. We will have those, will also be discussion groups if we intentionally don't have a speaker scheduled for that month. I'm not going to pretend it's about scheduling on our part. We do it on purpose. As incredibly helpful as medication, therapy, and coaching can be, there's really no substitute for being around a bunch of people like you who get you. It's really hard to put into words the experience. People with ADHD put a lot of effort into hiding their ADHD traits. And when they get with this group, suddenly you find you can put down your shield, you can let yourself be your authentic self, let your freak flag fly with your ADHD, and people accept you and they like you, and it's really cool. Routinely, someone will bring up a topic, topic about their ADHD, they would be mortified to talk about this in front of another group. But when they talk about it in front of the support group, if they're brave enough, what they find are that people are smiling and nodding because these people have been there and they get it. Most of them are probably thinking, thank God it's not just me. I see that, I know that expression, I can recognize that pretty well. We discuss some fairly serious topics, but it's always fun. You can't get a lot of ADHD people in a room without it being somewhat of a party. We laugh a lot. These groups are as ADHD friendly as we can make them. We don't have a lot of rules. One of the rules is that if you're not supposed to apologize for being late. That's not acceptable. We'd rather you came late than not at all. So that's our attitude. And you can come when you need to come, leave when you need to leave. If you get a cramp in your leg, stand up in the middle of it. If you have to go to the bathroom, just go. No one's going to judge you because why would that be hypocritical? And so we get it. It's like a bizarro world if you're compared to the normal world where anything goes. Currently, unfortunately, our peer support groups and most of the psychoeducational programs are geared just towards adults, and that just reflects the interest of the current group of leaders. If someone's interested in trying some of these things like the peer support with, in terms of children and teens, that'd be great. Talk to us. We just need some champions for that.
I thought there was a children's parent group. Wasn't there a parents group?
There is right now, but there's not any currently meetings. The closest meetings for that are the Northville Chad, which I guess they moved over to the church right off Godfredson Road, or it's pretty, not too far from Ann Arbor. And that's it.
Okay, well, thanks, Doug.